video, we learned about the general introduction of early times, how man begins to learn to sow the seed and raise plants for food. Earlier, he used to get food through hunting and scavenging, and later, agriculture changed his lifestyle. He used to live as hunter-gatherer and was nomadic. In this video, we are going to study about the fossil records. The study of fossils is called paleontology. Paleontology traces the history and makes an effort to understand the history of life on Earth by studying the fossil records left behind by humans. Fossils are the ancient remains of plants, animals, or humans that have turned to stones and are preserved for millions of years. They are often fixed in rocks. Learners, fossils help us to understand early human history. There are other discoveries like stone tools and cave paintings that help in understanding and knowing about the past. Most of the scholars initially did not accept that these records were the remains of early humans. But later, the importance of these fossils was realized. There are two methods through which fossils can be dated, either through direct chemical analysis or by dating the sediments indirectly, in which they are burned. Fossils can provide the sequence of human evolution once dated. Learners, do you know when the early fossil evidence was found? No? Okay, I'll tell you. The early fossil evidence was dated 3.5 million years ago of cyanobacteria from Archean rocks of Western Australia. Fossil records show that numerous types of extinct organisms were very different from the living now. It depicts the succession of any organism through time. Learners, when an organism dies, it is either decayed by other forms of life or by the weathering process. Rarely some body parts, especially the hard ones like shells, teeth, bones, are preserved in mud. Do you know which method is used for dating? No? Okay. Radiometric dating is used, which measures the amount of natural radioactive atoms which remain in certain minerals and help in predicting the time period when the rock and fossil linked with them are formed. According to this dating, Earth was formed about 4.5 million years ago. The history of life presents enthralling evidence recorded by the fossils. Paleontologists have studied a very little fraction of it. However, there is a succession of forms in some cases that have been reanalyzed in detail. Learners, can you give an example of any animals whose fossil record is complete? Yes, you're correct if you said horse. The horses lived more than 50 million years ago. The old horse had toes on each foot, while the recent horse is much larger, is one-toed, and has appropriate teeth for grazing. As you can see, the evolution of the horse. Thus, paleontologists have remade examples of radical evolutionary transition in form and function. The doubtful contemporaries of Darwin, the missing link between apes and humans, was a battle cry, as it was totally unknown to the people. Thus, through fossils, a number of intermediate creatures between living apes and humans have been formed. Hominins, remember the word. Hominins is the oldest known fossil that is primarily linked to the human lineage and is 6 million to 7 million years old, called Sahelanthropus and Auroran, which had a small brain and were bipedal. Therefore, fossil records provide evidence and information about evolution, as they show how life on Earth was once and how it is different from today. Fossils provide a quick and easy way of giving age to the strata in which they occur. Fossil records also provide information about the climate and environment of the area where they were found and preserved. Xenophanes, Herodotus, Strabo wrote about the fossils of marine life in early times, pointing that the land was underwater once. Learners, do you know what Charles Darwin in his book Origin of Species said? No? Okay, I'll tell you. On 24th November, Charles Darwin, his book Origin of Species was published. This book marked a landmark in the study of evolution. He argued that humans evolved from animals long time ago. So, it's time to revise. Can you think about what fossil records are and how they are helpful? Well, in this video, we've learned about fossil records. Fossils help us to understand the early human history. Other discoveries, such as stone, cave paintings, also provide information about the past. Radiometric dating is used for dating fossils. There are other methods as well. Hominins is the oldest known fossil. In the next video, we'll learn about the evolution of humans. Until then, I'll take your leave. Goodbye and take care.